Hey, what's up everyone? Let's talk about messaging automation campaigns.
So, big question, what is an automation campaign, especially a messaging automation campaign? So, a lot of businesses like to deal with leads. This is a different approach, but very similar concept. So, with leads, you get name, phone number, email, you get to contact them, you get other details that you need for your specific business. But a messaging automation campaign is where Facebook or Instagram or whatever platform you're on initiates a conversation, and then you use your sales skills to actually sell in the DM or actually book a meeting.
How do you actually set up the automations?
So there's a couple different ways to do that. There's obviously third-party apps that can automate the whole chat or maybe send out broadcasted messages without getting you blocked, obviously, because you've already initiated a chat with these people, so technically you can't get blocked, or a very rare scenario, of course. But basically on the Facebook Ads Manager, once you select a messaging campaign, which obviously that's what we're saying, on the last phase, which is the ad section, there's a couple different options of what type of campaign you want to run it through the messenger. One, you can do a frequently asked questions template where, I'm sure you guys have seen that. If you go to a Facebook page and there's a couple different options that the page automatically expects you to ask. A lot of the common ones are, I'm interested, is this available? What are your operation hours? But I think these are the wrong questions to ask, if you will. I think you need to explain your service or product in the exact, like the ad, the post itself, and then tell them one word to send you in order to initiate that conversation. And then after that, when someone does send you that one word, you already know what they're in the market for, so you don't actually have to go ask them what they want.
Exactly. We actually do that for one of our clients that sells Amazon FBA stores and the growth process for it. And the reason he likes the engagement campaign is because literally as soon as they hit send message, there's one word, which is Amazon, which means they're interested in his services. But on the other side, why do leads like engagement campaigns? Because it doesn't ask for their contact information. There's a lot of people that are hesitant on leaving their email, phone number, and name because they're scared that you're going to just spam them. In this method, even though you can still always communicate with them, because as soon as they send a message, you can always contact them, there's a higher frequency of people converting from that ad versus a lead form or a direct link.
It's more a human approach, if you will. Like, do you want to talk to someone or do you want to just get sold? In a sense, this is kind of initiating the conversation. In a sense, you can kind of show people more about your product and service in a face-to-face meeting, maybe a booking or something like that. And there's another way to actually even pull more info out of your potential client from the DM by actually setting up a lead messaging campaign, which is again a messaging campaign. You go to the last section, which is an ad, you set up lead generation, and then this will automatically ask them questions and pre-fill out the common info. So like, imagine you clicked on send message, you initiated a conversation, and automatically your system is asking them about their phone number, automatically asking them about their email. This is a very beneficial part, but again, I am not the biggest fan. I am a fan of that, but not. I don't go that approach every time because in a lot of businesses, especially high-ticket ones, people want to have a legitimate conversation. People can tell when it's a robot. Like at the end of the day, like there's no point in fooling anyone because there's no fools around. Like people have been using Facebook and Instagram for a while. Like they know how it works. They understand that they're clicking on an ad. If you think that people are clicking on your ad because they think they organically saw you, that's incorrect. So at least treat them with more human approach rather than a more automated and robotic approach. Definitely works, especially from when you're building from small-sized business, medium-sized business, up to a large one. Obviously, if you're on a corporate level, that's a whole different story. But this is basically how you can set up a campaign and make a couple $1,000 this week.
What do you see the biggest difference between the cost of generating a lead versus generating a message campaign?
So it really depends on the industry. Some industry leads are way better. Some industries messages are better as opposed to the leads. But I definitely think that you need to split test and find out what works for you, because it doesn't matter if a lead is cheaper or more expensive. How is your close rate as compared to a message versus a lead? You see what I'm saying? So for example, let's just give small number examples so it makes a lot more sense. So if I'm paying $10 a message and I have a 50% chance of closing that person, then theoretically I need to spend $20 to close that person. if I'm spending $2 a lead and I have a 3% or 10% close rate, then I'm going to be spending way more to actually close one person and spend more time, mind you. So cheaper is not always better. I actually, whenever there's a higher cost, I also want to know the quality, because paying more for better quality is just like getting a tattoo. You want to go that route because it's less work, less headache, and more fulfillment for your business, for you, and you get to talk to better people in a sense. You know what I mean? And if you haven't tried that before and you've only focused on the cost per lead and cost per message, think about the quality, because I'm sure if you're watching this video and intrigued about how to set up this type of campaign or whatever, then you've probably ran ads before. So
what industries do you feel like is the best for? Because like, for example, like e-com, I would feel like, just send it to the website, get conversions. So obviously it wouldn't make sense for them. Like, what industries have we seen the most benefit out of that?
So I find the most benefit with a more human approach is the higher ticket stuff. So when it comes to a cheap payoff, like let's say something less than $200, I would say that's just do leads and do mass numbers of these, because again, similar to like the Amazon concept of sell a bunch of stuff for a small margin versus sell a couple things for a high margin. Obviously, if you're selling a high ticket item, you want to have a more human approach. I mean, like, imagine walking into a Rolex store and there's no people there and you can just check out. I don't think their brand would have that much of a name, if you will. I feel like the approach of walking into either a high-end dealership or a high-end watch shop or whatever it is, it doesn't really matter. I'm just giving these examples just off the top of my head. I think there's a more like professional human approach, if you will. So especially if you're selling something for over $1,000, messages is the way to go, in my opinion.
Yeah, I like it. So primarily what we've used it for was insurance, health insurance, car insurance, and then for realtors and also courses that are like a little higher ticket. So if you are like in these industries and niches, feel free to test it out. Again, typically what we like doing is, if you have a bigger budget, run the campaign that's currently working and then add a campaign to test always consistently. So don't really adjust the current ad set that you have. Just add on top of it, because if you take away the budget from this one, you might actually skew the results and the ad set might die completely. So always test out the two strategies, as Christian said, see which one converts better, and then you can allocate the budget accordingly.
Definitely. And if you are watching this video and you're interested in actually like improving your marketing, don't actually take every YouTube video that's a tutorial style as that is the only way to do things. So you need to find out what works for you. Maybe leads is better in your industry, but you prefer messages. Maybe messages is better in your industry, but you prefer leads. Maybe sending people directly to a landing page is the best for your industry, but you prefer to actually talk to people. You feel like it's more fulfilling on your end. You feel like you're making more money on that end. Find what works for you. Don't find what someone else told you online, because that is always the best choice. And if you ever need help kind of figuring out what works best for you, feel free to go on our website. I'm sure it's linked somewhere down below in the description, and book an appointment. Amel or another team member will be talking to you guys and actually like discussing your business. We really care about learning about our clients' business and kind of figuring out what works best for them. So feel free to do that if you are in the market for someone that maybe wants to help you with your advertising, if you will.
Perfect. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys got some kind of juice out of it. And feel free to test out the different strategies. Kind of like Christian said, there's no one key answer, not one video on YouTube that will just blow up your business. It really depends on your proof of concept, your industry, and just your business overall. So go ahead and test all these strategies that we have, and make sure you follow us on Instagram at GenTech Marketing.
Yep. See you guys in the next one.
Bye.